Hello everyone, it's Andrew here. I'm back with another video. And today we are going to talk about the difference between stocks and bonds. I've been hearing people use them interchangeably, but they're actually very different. I know in the beginning I was confused. I didn't know what a stock was. I didn't know what a bond was. I didn't know what the difference was. So let me help you out. And before we continue, if you are new here, welcome. It is so nice to have you. And if you want to see more videos similar to this one, then definitely give me a like, smash that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification while you're at it so you do not miss another video like this. And it's free. I'm sure y'all love free things. I know I do. Without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, I think the best way to differentiate them is to visualize a beautiful, small, local coffee shop. The owner of this coffee shop really sees potential and wants to expand. Maybe that's completely moving into a different location or adding another coffee shop somewhere in the city. Although the owner really wants to do this, there aren't enough ends. The owner sits down, thinks about it, and realizes that there are only two options. One, the owner can get a loan, or two, the owner can sell a portion of the company. And as for you, these are two ways that you can invest your money. If the owner of the coffee shop decides to go with option one and gets a loan, then that will mean that the owner will go into debt, and this debt agreement will be known as a bond. If you invest into a bond, you can be the lender. You'll be the investor, loaning money to an entity, in this case, the coffee shop, for regular payments in return. And you will have a contract put into place that will lay everything out: how much it's for, how long it's for, the interest rate, and all of this other information. You as a lender is hoping to earn a return on your money, and this will come from the interest that you are charging. This will end up being a fixed income. And it is not super risky because, again, you have a contract put into place, and if for some reason you think that it's super risky, then you can always raise your rates. Now, let's talk a little about what would happen if this coffee shop blooms or goes bankrupt. If this coffee shop flourishes and becomes the next Starbucks, you will not rise with them. You will only get the money that you loan them plus interest, no other profit. On the contrary, let's say by the 7th year, they go bankrupt. If this happens, you'll still get a little something. And because they have been paying you for all of these years, you have that. They will not finish paying you off, but if collateral is included into your agreement, then you will get, or can get, whatever asset is included. Whatever asset is stated is yours. With bonds, there is a risk, but it's not too high. And you can always sell. But usually the plan is to hold it until maturity and just live off the interest. Okay, now let's say the owner of this coffee shop decides to go with option two and sells ownership. Ownership equals equity. Always keep that in mind. If the owner decides to go with this route, then that will mean that you can buy a stock and become an owner. They can sell 1 share, 2 shares, 10 shares, 100 shares, 1,000 shares. It's totally up to them. You can then buy a share, and that will mean that you now own a piece of that company. This is a way that they can raise money and do what they want to do. Now again, let's talk about what would happen if it were to bloom or go bankrupt. If it turns into the next Starbucks, you will get a massive profit. You will grow, and you will continue to grow with the company. And your return can be anything, literally. But with that, if it were to go bankrupt, you gotta buckle up because you will lose everything. It's not like a bond where you will get something in return. You will get nothing. In general, stocks are riskier than bonds. You never know if a company is going to do well or not. So at the end, it's just a risk you gotta see if you're willing to take. I do want to make a side note that there are certain stocks that offer the fixed income of bonds, and then there are also bonds that have higher risk and return like stocks, but that gets a little more complicated. And I don't want to confuse you, so we're gonna keep it simple. Alright? Well, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped clear things up. And don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.